Neil collects top 10 Christmas questions. Let's get into the Christmas spirit.
Boo! You suck!
Alright guys, I got my questions wrote down. My tablet's charging, so I didn't get the tablet this time. Going to waste a piece of paper. No, it's not a waste of piece of paper. I love doing these top 10 questions, Neil. One reason I get so discouraged when you take a break from the community is your 10 questions challenge. It's probably my favorite 10 questions challenge. Just because it gives me a chance to get to know people in the community on a deeper level, not just through comic books. Although I believe some of your 10 question challenges have been superhero related or have had superhero questions in them. But yeah, this is and then it's easy to shoot, super easy to shoot. Write down the 10 questions and answer them. So let's just get right into it. Number one, what is your favorite Christmas song? Used to, that would be a tie. I love Last Christmas by Wham, big George Michael's fan. However, the other song that is my favorite also features George Michael's. And that is, of course, Band-Aid's 1984, Do They Know It's Christmas Time. I've actually started to learn more about that song. I didn't realize that who I thought was the female vocalist from the Eurythmics in the second verse part, that's actually Boy George. That is not the female vocalist from the Eurythmics. So Boy George is very talented. I've never listened to Boy George, but had me fooled for sure. Great voice though. I didn't know Paul Young was in that song either. I wondered why there were so many great legendary American artists that weren't in Band-Aid's Do They Know It's Christmas. But it just kind of dawned on me as I've been learning who sings in this song. It's a mashup of Great Britain, if they prefer to be called Great Britain. It's just a mashup of England's greatest artists. So that makes sense. They missed out on Elton John. Should have had Elton John. Maybe should have had a Beatle in there, but I think they had their bases covered. Definitely the hottest pop stars of the day are in that song, and it's just a fantastic tune. Phil Collins on drums, and I can't remember who does the keyboard, but I just love that song. Anyways, question number 2, what won't you do for love? I'm going to just take from White Mojo Wolf here. There are sexual experiments in the bedroom I won't do for love. Other than that, I would kill for love. You know, if my child's life or my wife's life is being threatened, you guarantee I would pull that trigger on somebody or put that knife in them. I'd rob a bank for my family, you know. Would I just kill in cold blood for love? No, definitely not. Like if I found my wife in bed with someone because I came home from work too early, I would not kill that guy for love, for sure. But yeah, in defense of a loved one, definitely would take a life. But yeah, again, what wouldn't I do for love? Those sexual experiments in the bedroom. There's just some stuff that even I won't agree to that people could think up to do in the bedroom. Number 3, what is your favorite Christmas movie? Again, taken from White Mojo Wolf. It has to be Home Alone. It used to be Christmas Vacation, and that's definitely my number 2. It's always going to be my number 2 is Christmas Vacation. But it's got to be Home Alone. I identify with Kevin McAllister. I was a crappy kid sometimes with a crappy attitude. I remember being in my adolescence telling my parents I would never get married and have kids. So look at me now. And I looked up to Kevin as being this kid that took care of 2 robbers. And then the scene at the end, to this day, whether I was a kid or experiencing this scene as a parent, but when Kevin's mother comes home and they both share that moment there right at the end of Home Alone, I tear up every time. Whether I have to watch it one time in the summertime to kind of get myself out of the heat, it's my way of cooling off in the summer heat down here in Alabama. And then I watch it, of course. I'm about to watch it again this year during the holidays with my boy. He loves Home Alone. I tear up every time I see that scene at the end. And then, you know, I kind of identify. I had a crazy family dynamic, you know, just like Kevin does at the beginning of the movie. So just a very relatable, a movie I keep very close to my heart. Number 4, what do you enjoy the most over the Christmas period? Can't even read my own handwriting. I think the magic and joy, just the pure Christmas spirit I see in my son. As my little girl grows, she's just 5 months old. She just blah, blah, blah about Christmas right now. But, you know, as she gets older, she will be included in this. But right now, just seeing the Christmas spirit, the magic, that just spirit in my son is probably my favorite thing. Over the Christmas period. When do you put your tree out? We put it out after Thanksgiving. I working in retail, it just always got me down that people can't enjoy where they're at in the moment. So like, and I worked at Walmart, and they are the worst culprits of this. It'd be September and the Christmas blow-ups are already being put up in the high-risers and lawn and garden sections. I'm like, come on now. Let's get to Halloween first, which I'm a big Halloween Scrooge. Fully admit that. I'd rather, if I'm going to dress up, I'd rather just go to a convention and cosplay. But, you know, let's get to Halloween first. And let's get to Thanksgiving. Let's give thanks. And remember where we came from and think about where we're going. I just take a second to forget about the presents and the gifts and Santa Claus coming in 30 days. And let's just be thankful. Let's get to Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving, let's get ready for Christmas. Let's put on the Christmas music and all that good stuff. The older I get, the more time feels like it's speeding up. And so that's why I like to wait till after Thanksgiving to put it in Christmas gear. It just helps me to slow time down, even though I'm really not slowing nothing down. So yeah, that's when I put the tree out. Sometime after Thanksgiving. Turkey or ham, what's for dinner? You know, I love turkey. I've done 2 turkeys now, back-to-back years. Gotten compliments on them, so I enjoy doing the turkeys at Thanksgiving. But it's November 28th, and we still have a lot of turkey in the fridge. I have to figure out. I'm gonna have to make a sandwich or something today. Go buy some lettuce, tomato, and onion, and slap some mayonnaise on some bread. Put some turkey in the middle, that kind of thing. So you know, having turkey that much, just a couple weeks later, I don't want turkey again. Even though I make a mean turkey, I do make a good turkey. Last year, I tried my first ever Christmas ham. I put it in some pecan and maple wood smoked for about 2 hours, and tried to do brown sugar maple glaze on it. Sounds great, right? I watched the barbecue video about it and everything, but the maple syrup was just running all the seasoning off the ham as I was continuing to try and glaze this ham. And it came out, the smoky flavor was good, and it was juicy, but there was just no flavor on the outside of that ham. And then I noticed nobody really got any ham, and nobody really went back for seconds. And I'm not the biggest ham guy in the world, so I'm bucking the Christmas ham tradition. I'm not doing turkey again. I think this year I'm going to try to do a brisket. I'm going to go a little more barbecue this year. I think I tend to prefer a non-traditional entree for Christmas. The sides, keep the traditional sides, but the entree, like I had, my mother-in-law used to do a prime rib for Christmas, and it was what I looked forward to. I didn't need gifts. I was there to eat the prime rib. Give all the presents to my son. I'm there to eat prime rib. I wish she'd do it again, but They don't host Christmas as much anymore, especially now that we have this house. So this year, what's for dinner is brisket. Number 7, best Christmas memory. I'll do 2 because I have an adult and a childhood memory. My childhood memory and just being at my granddad's house. He was an engineer for NASA, so not flexing, but he had the house to have the all-American family Christmas. It was on Pine Lake in Arab, Alabama. Beautiful neighborhood, beautiful house. It was 3-story if you include the garage basement ish house. And I had on that side of the family, my mom had a brother and a sister, and they each had 2 kids. We had 2 kids, so 6 grandchildren, 6 aunts and uncles. You know, my granddad and his second wife. He had this big, huge dining room that would seat everybody. And it was just the all-American, like Norman Rockwell family Christmas. And my granddad's no longer here anymore. I saw him like 2 or 3 days before he died, and that was pretty hard for me. I've never seen someone so close to death like that before. I won't say he was my best friend, and we just had this great, fantastic relationship, but I do have memories with my granddad, and I think very fondly of my granddad, my mother's father, and I'll always cherish those memories down there in Arab, those big black, my mother's maiden name is Black, those big black family Christmases I had as a kid. I wish I could give that to my son and my daughter. As an adult, you know, people might crucify me for this. My first Christmas with my wife, we weren't even engaged. We were probably dating. It was more about my nephew-in-law, which I guess he's my nephew. It was more about my nephew's Christmas. I think my first Christmas, he was a little kid, and so it was just all about him. So I don't really want to say my first Christmas with my girlfriend / fiance / wife was all this special. My first Christmas with little man, he was kind of a dud. Birthdays and Christmases, the first 2 years of his life were kind of boring. He didn't give us just that magical, childlike wonder at Christmas and birthdays. So I just have to say last year, you know, little man was 4 last year. He's going to be 5 this year. So he's now hitting that age where the Christmases are going to be magical for me and for him. You know, he does his Christmas list for Santa now. And so I just have to say last year, his 4th Christmas was really good. Also, I'd like to add this. It just popped in my head. There was one Christmas, little man was 3 years old, and my aunts on my aunt, they're not my aunts, my wife's aunts, one of her aunt has one of those big, you know, 3-story, including a garage / basement kind of houses like my granddad. So the perfect Christmas house, and we all go over there for their side of the family's Christmas and stuff. But one year she brought over somebody from somebody's church on that side of the family, dressed up as Santa and sees kids and stuff, does the whole gimmick, and they brought him over to the house and just seeing, it sounds kind of weird, you know, my son's sitting in a stranger's lap, but just seeing, I think he was 2 or 3, he was real little, seeing him in Santa's lap, just all wonder-eyed, is a very fond Christmas memory I have as well. But moving on to number 8, have you ever dressed as Santa? No, but I'd like to, and I think I might do this when I'm retired, be a mall Santa, or we have a beautiful strip mall in Huntsville, Alabama. It's known as Bridge Street to the locals. It's this beautiful strip mall. There's restaurants and shops, and it's just beautiful. They have a courtyard. They have an area where they let musicians play, and fancy hotels are over there. They're kind of adding to the area as well around the main strip, and they have Santas out there. So maybe, when I'm like 65, I'd like to retire earlier if I can, but if I'm like 65, maybe I'll be a mall Santa one day. Don't plan on being Santa anytime soon unless I think little man, I'm just in danger of getting caught by little man. I might buy a suit and pretend to be Santa when I'm putting Christmas presents out under the tree. Don't let your kids see this. Don't want to give the secrets away. Have you ever received something you were not able to say you didn't like? Of course. So on my wife's side of the family, if she sees this, she'll get a chuckle out of this. On my wife's side of the family, we do Dirty Santa, and it used to be fun. But due to some family deaths, due to the family getting older, relationships have changed in that family. They're still a close-knit unit in that family, and we still get together. But it used to be a family. It used to be a house, 30 people or more deep. I mean, it was just a huge. Again, like my childhood Christmases were for those kids, it was just the all-American Christmas get-together. And I hate that it's downsized a lot, but people have gotten lazy over the years with this Secret Santa game. And one year I got an electric griddle, so not to flex, again, it doesn't really matter what you spend for a Christmas gift, but nobody on that side of the family, we don't do Christmas gifts for each other. We just play Dirty Santa and that's it. So we have a solid size budget for Secret Santa because you only have to bring one gift. And the budget is between $50 and $100. So we try to have nice gifts at this Secret Santa. And I got like a clearly on clearance, like $25 electric pancake griddle one time. And then another year I got a cutting board. Just a wooden cutting board. And that was discouraging. If you're running out of ideas, I know the older generation, especially the boomers, aren't into the gift cards. I like gift cards. I like money. If you're running out of ideas, just bring cash or gift cards, in my opinion, and stick to the budget. It's just disheartening when we try to be thoughtful. We try to spend the money and put in the effort for these Secret Santa gifts, and then other people are clearly just not putting in the effort. It's more about effort, not the money, and it makes you wonder what your other family members think of this Secret Santa or whatever. So yeah, I didn't like the griddle or the cutting board, but you're not gonna at Secret Santa in front of everybody say, "Oh, this is a crap gift." And then number 10, what's the perfect time Christmas night for you? The perfect time Christmas night for me, I'm probably popping a Trappist Fort, a Trappist de Rochefort, number 8, or a Chimay Grand Reserve, or a Founders CBS. Drinking it in my father-in-law gave me some collectible Budweiser beer steins. Might pour it in that, drink it out of that. Those are beers, by the way. If you didn't know, sipping on one of those at night, and I'm kind of a old head at heart. Staying up, let my boy stay up a little later than normal, and playing Snoopy, Christmas, maybe having baby girl in my lap, maybe she's nodding off, maybe having my wife on the other side of me. That's the perfect Christmas. Can't ask for more. Warm house for sure. My wife likes to keep it cold, and because I'm not the greatest at keeping myself in shape, I have poor circulation to my feet. My feet are just ice blocks all the time once it hits like October. So a warm house as well, maybe snuggling up in a blanket, and it'd be perfect. Be perfect for me. So those are my top 10. That is my answers to Neil's top 10 Christmas questions challenge. Tried to decorate. Hope you guys, and try to keep it within the theme of the channel, comic books and Christmas. Hope you guys like the books I selected. I almost thought about issuing my first Christmas cover challenge, but these are like all the books I have that are Christmas related. Stay tuned tomorrow for Wolverine Wednesday, and that review's coming soon. Again, WrestleMania is hopefully coming Friday. And I start, just some quick house cleaning before we go. I start my new job Monday. Since I've been out of work for like 2 weeks. I've been paid like once in the last 4 weeks. So we're getting by. We're fine. I'm not saying this, not asking for a pity party or anything, but I start Monday. The checks are going to start rolling in, and I'm looking forward to it because it's a great job, great opportunity for me, and we're going to have a good Christmas this year. I hope you guys have a good Christmas this year. I hope you guys have the All-American Christmas that I brought up several times already in my questions. Thank you guys as always for liking, subscribing, and watching, and Merry Christmas.